Hello, ladies and gents. So, Marcia Lucas has slammed Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams. A really, really interesting turn of events, actually. It wasn't, I don't think anyone was really expecting this to come out. But when you kind of do some digging and things like that, she's not been a massive fan of things with Star Wars for a little while. But it is hilarious and it's noteworthy news. So I thought we'd dive into it. Here you go. Here you go, ladies and gents. And this is on a recently published book. Basically about Return of the Jedi producer and former president of Lucasfilm, Howard Kazanian. Marcia Lucas said this, and it cuts right to the very, very core of everything, I guess. I like Kathleen. I always liked her, says Marcia Lucas. She was full of beans. She was really smart and really bright. Really wonderful woman. And I liked her husband, Frank. I liked them a lot. Now that she's running Lucasfilm and making movies, it seems to me that Kathy Kennedy and J.J. Abrams don't have a clue about Star Wars. So, singing her praises on a personal level, because most people seem to really struggle separating business and, professionalism and sort of friendship. But she obviously can do this, I liked her on a personal level, but goddamn, now she's running Lucasfilm, she's terrible. They don't have a clue about Star Wars, she says. They don't get it. And J.J. Abrams is writing these stories. When I saw that movie where they kill Han Solo, I was furious. I was furious when they killed Han Solo. Absolutely, positively, there was no rhyme or reason to it. Pulling no punches. I thought, you don't get the Jedi story. You don't get the magic of Star Wars. You're getting rid of Han Solo? And then at the end of this last one, The Last Jedi, they have Luke disintegrate. They killed Han Solo, they killed Luke Skywalker, and they don't have Princess Leia anymore. And they're spitting out movies every year, and they think it's important to appeal to a woman's audience. So now their main character is this female, who's supposed to have Jedi powers. So now their main character is this female who's supposed to have Jedi powers, but we don't know how she got Jedi powers or who she is. It sucks. The storylines are terrible, just terrible, awful. You can quote me. J.J. Abrams, Kathy Kennedy, talk to me. Oh my god. I think what I find so comical about this part here is, it's a few things, I guess. Well, one major thing here is, I didn't like, The Last Jedi. I didn't like that at all. Bad, bad. But when when she's saying, hey, you've got a woman that, is now in charge of Jedi powers. We don't know who she is or how she got the powers. We do know, in fairness, we do actually know, and I think that's important. We do know how she's got those powers. But, not the best, is it? I can't even remember what one even the last one was. Was it The Rise of Skywalker? It was the Rise of Skywalker? It was The Rise of Skywalker, wasn't it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're not the best, are they? They're pretty bloody terrible films. So I guess this was done previous to the last one. I would imagine. It would have had to have been, wouldn't it? This would have done previous to The Rise of Skywalker, which means obviously, they don't have the information there available to her. Or she didn't have the information available. But, I mean, she pulls their punches. Terrible storylines. Awful. They don't understand Star Wars. They're killing characters left, right, and centre. Bad. And it's not just that. There's even more. And this is all courtesy of Jedi Scum 83 over on Twitter, who I don't know whether anyone else actually gave this individual credit for these things. But this is the source of it all. This is who got everyone talking. And now here's some commentary. Marcia Lucas, Mark Hamill, and Howard Kazanian discuss the prequels. And she disliked episode 1 so much it made her cry. And Jedi Scum says this is pages 316 and 317. George is, in his heart and soul, a good guy and a talented filmmaker, Marcia Lucas says. I wish he would have kept directing other kinds of movies, but when I went to see episode 1, I had a friend who worked at ILM who took me as a guest to a preview. I remember going out to the parking lot, sitting in my car and crying. I cried and I cried because I didn't think it was very good, and I thought he had such a rich vein to mine, a rich palette to tell stories with. He had all those characters, and I thought it was weird that the story was about this little boy who looked like he was 6 years old, but then later on he's supposed to get with this, and then we have more here. This princess who looked like she was 20 years old. I mean, she's not exactly wrong, is she? There were things I didn't like about the casting, and things I didn't like about the story, and things I didn't like. It was a lot of eye candy CG, which we know, we know that is the case. And it said further, Hamill says further, I was impressed that the prequels had their own identity. They were criticised because they were exposition heavy and more cerebral, and probably, like he said back in '76, they weren't as commercial. It's a darker story. But in the age of social media, people's voices are amplified, and I'm shocked at how brutal they can be, not just in the case of Star Wars films, but across the board. And Kazanajan recalls, George said to me after episode 1, I didn't even get a nomination for costumes or sets, and if you look at that picture, whether you like the costumes or not, it was a costume picture, and it was a huge set picture. Hollywood had dumped on George. So, but basically, it's important to give the background. She hasn't liked Star Wars for a really long time. She's not wrong about Kathleen Kennedy, FYI, but she hasn't liked Star Wars for a long time. And then there was one last little thing from Marcia Lucas on how much credit she deserves for Star Wars. So this is important. She doesn't like Star Wars for a long time, but she's not someone who's saying it's all me, right? Which I think is really good, actually. So I thought it would be fun, and I enjoyed it. Marcia has heard many times that George was the head and she was the heart of Star Wars, but she says that's not accurate. I wouldn't think so. I definitely made scenes work. I made the end battle work, and I definitely had a lot to do with making it work, but I wasn't the writer, and I wasn't the director, and I didn't come up with the creative names. Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, all those names are classics. George came up with all of it using his amazing imagination. So she absolutely shits all over Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams, but she's not sat there going, I want to take credit for any of this either, which I think is great. Like, it's a testament, I guess, to her, well, I guess personality, really. She's not an ego. But I thought this would be a very, very funny image to use, because, the joke's on you, Kathleen Kennedy. Like, the walls are kind of closing in, I guess. I mean, no one's going to get rid of her, despite videos being made every week. Kathleen Kennedy's fired. Yeah, I'm sure. One day it will be true. But she's not being got rid of anytime soon. So what do you guys think of this? Let me know down below. I do wonder what George thinks of this now. Like, he hasn't come out and publicly commented and lambasted any of these things. So it'd be interesting to see what he actually thinks. I'm sure we'll never know. But leave your thoughts down below. See what you guys think as well. Let me know down below. If you're new here, please do hit subscribe. Please do turn those bell notifications on. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.